Hey everyone, Duplex here, another Android Netrunner video. This time it's a little different. As you can see down in front of me, I have my custom inked Playmats, which I purchased at inkedplaymats.com using the designs posted on Board Game Geek by user Evil Gordo. I'll provide a link to the Board Game Geek file, which also contains a post showing how to order these playmats properly. It's pretty straightforward and they're very inexpensive. I think they're $25, possibly. I think it was $25 or so dollars. So it's fairly reasonable for what I consider top grade playmats. So just a quick rundown of what it is. I'm sure many people have seen, and you can go download the PDF that shows you the image itself of the playmat. But great for, especially for learning players, I think, who are still kind of fuzzy on where everything needs to kind of land in the game. You can see the Corp playmat here has all the central servers, some space for some remote servers, some space for icing all of that up, your action list, your click tracker, and you can see here I've got these acrylic click trackers which I won at regionals. That's pretty much the only thing I won at regionals, or else I wouldn't have needed to buy playmats. And they fit really well, and you can just kind of flip them over or whatever when you're done your clicks. You toss them on there. Scored area, and then a spot for your tokens for your credits, tokens or dice or whatever you choose to use. So you can see it's a sort of a blue on gray theme. Looks very nice. There's I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but there's a nice gradient to a lot of these boxes. So I believe the user Evil Gordo who posted them is the one who designed them. Extreme kudos to him because they're just spectacular. The cards fit well when sleeved in the various spots. And you can fit probably, I'm gonna guess three remote servers comfortably. 4 is gonna be cramped and have a little bit of drop off the edge there. I believe it's about the same for the ice. 3 comfortably, and then anything beyond that's gonna fall off the edge. Just one of the realities, unfortunately, of playing Corp, especially shell game. You're going to end up with remotes, and you're playing a fast advanced deck, you barely have any remotes, no big problem. A shell game deck or something along that lines is going to probably exceed the size of almost any playmat that you get. So the only advantage to sort of generic image playmats is that you can tighten these spaces up if you choose. To give you more room, but realistically, once you start putting ice down here and here and here, you're looking at not a lot of space to tighten up without starting to overlap ice. So it can get tight, but it works really well. Yeah, I've heard people complain that there's not that the ice space on archives is a little cut off. I don't really see it as a problem, so I'm pretty happy with that. So that's the Corp mat, and you can see here the runner mat. Now, generally speaking, I think it's going to be universally true that the runner is going to take up way less space than the Corp, but you can see he's got a spot for just his ID, your stack and your heap, score area, credit pool as well. Your click trackers down here for your four clicks. They fit well on that, and you've got your action list, spot for program, spot for hardware, spot for resources. I'm a little, I don't know. I can see I could have. We'll see. I guess what I'm saying is that in some cases you might want to transpose these, and you could just tell your opponent, if I'm running a hardware heavy, but realistically, I don't see most runner decks these days taking up all of any of these. Even the smaller hardware one is unlikely, and you can most of the time stack them. Like you have 3 cyber feeders out or whatever, you don't necessarily need them to be spread out. You can, as long as your opponent knows what they are, you can just kind of stack them or overlay them together and have them there. My only gripe with this mat is that the orange on here is a different orange than the rest. I'm actually fond of like the brown sort of burnt orange coloration for the runner. Now saying that, I kind of go old school with my sleeves, going back to the original Netrunner that used sort of a green motif for the runner in general, and sort of a blue-purple motif for the Corp. These were as good as I could get them, but I decided to sleeve green, just kind of do a throwback to the original. So the green doesn't work very well, but they stand out like crazy, so I guess that's a good thing. But it's not exactly it's not exactly a complementary coloration. But yeah, I don't know what happened here. Going back and looking at the PDF, it's not as clear. It's not as obvious that these colors are that drastically different. So it might be part of the printing on the medium. I don't know, but it's a small gripe. At least calls this out, I guess. So a newer player would be able to see it better, I guess. So that's my only small gripe with the entire mat, both mats. The mats themselves are similar to the official Fantasy Flight mats, or similar to any other mats you would see for Magic the Gathering. I think these are the first play mats I've ever owned for any card game. But all the mats I've seen before have this sort of, well, it's a mouse pad. If that's all it is. It's a mouse pad. It's grippy on the bottom, kind of rubbery or whatever. And then on the top is sort of a cloth, a nice feeling cloth. And it has, yeah, like I said, again, the gradient may not be coming through on the video very well, but they're a very nice gradient. InkedPlaymats.com did a great job, got it to me fast. I think it was a week and a half, give or take, for them to print and send them to me. I'll post the link for the Board Game Geek thread that allows you to download the PDF files, and it gives instructions on how to submit them to Inked Playmats and how to get these printed for yourself. Shipping to Canada was slightly more expensive than I would have liked it to be, but that's just a reality of living in Canada. I'm used to it by now. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and comments are always welcome, and I'd love to hear your feedback and or questions, and I'd be pleased to answer them. Thanks again.